Hello, my name is Steve Gerhardt, and this is the Unagi Observer. This week is about a little-known Japanese sport called Bao Taoshi. If you ever thought that American football could be rough, wait until you hear about this high school sport in Japan. It involves dozens of players on each side with varying positions, all of which involves almost what seems to be hand-to-hand combat. The history of Bao Taoshi is shrouded in mystery. Most people don't really know how it began, but pretty much everyone agrees that it started in post-war Japan, probably around 1945. The most widely accepted theory is that the sport originated as a training activity for the Japanese militia, as both a team-building exercise and as a way to become physically tougher. It became popular pretty quickly and eventually made its way into Japanese high schools. To this day, on sports days or even in competition with other schools, Bao Taoshi has become wildly popular. The game is sort of a hyper-violent capture the flag. The teams can be pretty large. It appears that the average size is around 75 players per team, and the players of both teams are all out on the field at the same time. Now, team sizes can vary, some as large as 150 persons, and each person plays kind of as if they just took a crystal meth cocaine cocktail. The rules are pretty simple, very similar to rugby. Despite the frenzied violence, there is no actual physical hand-to-hand combat, for the most part. Shoes aren't allowed in this game, helmets are required, and to win, one side has to bring down the other team's pole down, or at least 30% relative to the ground. Each team has an offensive squad whose goal is to bring down the pole, and the defensive squad is to protect the pole. There are three parts to the offensive squad. The first are the players designated as general support attackers. They are the guys who are just trying to disrupt the defense so that the other members of the squad can attack more easily. The next group in the offensive squad are the scrum/springboard players. These are the guys that when they get to the immediate pole barrier, they use their own bodies to allow the last group of offensive players to get over the top of the barrier and move towards the pole. Now the last group are the pole attackers. And the pole attackers are the ones who try to bring down the actual pole. They are the ones to take out the pole ninja. Yes, you heard that correctly. And climb towards the top of the pole and use their collective weight to bring the pole down, ensuring victory. The defensive squad is a bit larger. First, you have the pole support guys who simply use their strength to keep the pole upright. The next larger ring around the pole are the barrier guys. This large group defends the pole supporters, and the pole ninja. They are usually 5 to 6 players deep. Now, outside of the barrier are the harassers. They're a group that try to keep the offensive squad away from the barrier and try to disrupt attacks as much as possible. Now, the other part is the scrum disablers, and there are a smaller group who are tasked to only go after the scrum/springboard players to keep them away. Finally, there is the pole ninja. This guy climbs to the top of the pole, hangs on for dear life, and goes after anyone who makes it past all the others. He's basically the guy who's frantically kicking at people's heads. To win, the pole must be either knocked down or taken down to 30 degrees above the ground. The tricky part is that the pole cannot actually be lifted off of the ground. One end of the pole has to be touching the ground at all times. And by the way, you have to do all this from beginning to end in 2 minutes. Only the Japanese can come up with a game that is played inside of 2 minutes, involving on average 150 people, all going after each other in what appears to be organized chaos. While there are Bao Taoshi clubs in America, I truly doubt that parents would allow it in the schools. It's hard to get blood out of expensive uniforms. That is it for this week. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you like what I do here on this channel, please subscribe. My name is Steve Gerhardt. This is the Unagi Observer, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.